The content and concepts presented within the book, The Messiah and the Secret of Israel, encompassing the profound exploration of the hidden significance of the tribe of Benjamin and its connection to the Messiah, are the exclusive intellectual property of L.S. Larkey and Atlantean Astrology LLC. This work represents a unique synthesis of historical analysis, astrological interpretation, and theological insight, all meticulously developed and authored by L.S. Larkey. Any reproduction, distribution, or use of these materials without explicit permission from the author and Atlantean Astrology LLC is strictly prohibited. This proprietary knowledge reflects a significant contribution to the fields of biblical studies, astrology, and spiritual heritage, and it is protected under applicable intellectual property laws. Chapter 13, Part 3, The Resonance of Divine Connection. Throughout human history, many cultures and religions have portrayed their deities as distant, vengeful, or judgmental beings. The concept of a God who embodies love, compassion, and forgiveness was revolutionary and largely unheard of before Jesus. When Jesus declared his profound connection with the Father, he wasn't merely asserting his divinity, he was revealing an extraordinary spiritual truth, that it is possible for a human being to align so completely with the divine consciousness that they can manifest the love and wisdom of God in the physical world. This chapter explores how Jesus' life, teachings, and unique resonance with the Father illustrate the potential for all believers to cultivate a similar divine connection, and how this phenomenon was unprecedented in the history of spirituality. When Jesus spoke of his oneness with the Father, religious leaders of his time viewed it as a direct challenge to their understanding of God. To them, his statements were nothing short of heresy, implying that he was equating himself with God. However, Jesus wasn't claiming an exclusive status. Rather, he was demonstrating the profound spiritual resonance he had achieved, a state where his will, consciousness, and essence were perfectly aligned with the divine. This misunderstanding underscores a critical difference between the prevailing view of God as distant and unapproachable, and Jesus' revelation of a God who is intimate, loving, and accessible. Jesus was not only challenging the old ways, but also inviting others to experience this divine connection, showing that through alignment with the divine will, anyone could resonate with the same consciousness that he did. This concept of resonance can be understood through the metaphor of a musical instrument. Just as a perfectly tuned string vibrates in harmony with a specific note, Jesus' life was in perfect harmony with the will of the Father. His teachings, actions, and prayers were all expressions of this divine resonance, offering a model for how others could also tune themselves to the frequency of God. Jesus' statement that he is the way, the truth, and the life isn't just about pointing to a path of salvation, but also about showing the deeper spiritual journey toward aligning oneself with the divine frequency. Jesus didn't just represent the way in a literal sense. He embodied the path to achieving the same resonance with the Father that he himself had attained. By following his example, through prayer, meditation, and living a life of love and service, believers can begin to resonate with the same divine frequency. This resonance is what Jesus meant by being the way. It is a path of transformation that leads to a deep connection with the divine. Moreover, when Jesus said that no one comes to the Father except through him, it can be understood as an invitation to resonate with the same divine frequency that he embodied. It's not about exclusivity, but about understanding that the path to divine connection is through alignment with the principles and practices that Jesus lived by. His life was a demonstration of how to achieve this resonance, showing that it's possible for anyone who follows his way. The desert as a symbol of divine attunement. One of the most significant periods of Jesus' life that illustrates this process of achieving divine resonance is his 40 days in the desert. During this time, Jesus fasted, prayed, and faced temptations that tested his commitment to the divine will. This period of intense spiritual discipline was crucial in Jesus' journey toward complete resonance with the Father. The desert represents more than just a physical place. It is a metaphor for the inner journey that one must undertake to achieve divine resonance. It is a place of purification, where distractions and earthly desires are stripped away, allowing the soul to tune itself to the divine frequency. Jesus' time in the desert was a demonstration of this process, showing that true resonance with the Father requires dedication, discipline, and an unwavering commitment to the divine path. In this sense, the desert experience is not just about overcoming external temptations, but about aligning the inner self with the will of God. It is a process of refinement, where the soul is brought into harmony with the divine, enabling it to resonate at the same frequency as the Father. Jesus' example in the desert shows that this resonance is not something that is simply given, but something that must be actively pursued through spiritual discipline and inner transformation. Jesus' unprecedented phenomenon, manifesting divine love. Never before in human history had anyone managed to achieve what Jesus did, bringing the divine consciousness of the Father into the physical world. While other spiritual leaders, such as Buddha or Muhammad, provided profound spiritual guidance and insights, Jesus uniquely embodied the divine presence, manifesting it in every aspect of his life. He brought the intangible into the tangible, revealing what the love of the Father truly looks like in a world that often sees God as distant or harsh. Historically, deities were often viewed as judgmental, vengeful, and distant, with religious practices centered on appeasing these deities to avoid their wrath. The concept of a God who is intimately involved in the lives of individuals, who loves unconditionally, and who forgives rather than punishes, was a radical departure from this norm. Jesus didn't just speak of God's love, he lived it, showing the world that the Father's love is not a distant concept, but a reality that can be experienced and embodied. By living out this divine consciousness in the physical world, Jesus made the invisible God visible, the intangible love of the Father tangible. His life was the ultimate demonstration of what it means to be in perfect alignment with the divine will, offering a model for how we too can bring heaven to earth through our actions, thoughts, and being. This is what makes Jesus' life and teachings so profound. They show us that divine connection is not only possible, but is meant to be realized in our everyday lives. The implications for believers. For believers, this understanding of Jesus' divine resonance offers both a challenge and an opportunity. It challenges us to examine our own lives and consider how we can better align ourselves with the divine frequency. It also offers the opportunity to pursue a deeper connection with the divine, following the path that Jesus laid out. The resonance that Jesus achieved is not beyond reach. It is the potential that lies within every believer. By committing to a life of prayer, meditation, and service, by striving to embody the principles that Jesus taught, we too can begin to resonate with the divine frequency. This resonance is not just about personal spiritual growth. It is about becoming a living expression of the divine in the world. Conclusion. Jesus' teachings about his connection with the Father were not simply claims of divinity, but invitations to all of humanity. He showed that it is possible to attune oneself so deeply to the divine that one's very being resonates with the consciousness of God. This resonance is what allowed Jesus to say, "I and the Father are one," and it is a resonance that he invites all believers to seek. The uniqueness of Jesus' resonance with the divine sets him apart from other spiritual leaders, offering a model of perfect attunement that is both inspiring and challenging. By following the path that Jesus laid out, we too can strive to achieve a similar connection with the divine, becoming living expressions of God's presence in the world. This understanding of divine resonance transforms the way we view our spiritual journey. It is not just about following rules or adhering to doctrines, It is about tuning our lives to the frequency of the divine, becoming one with the will and consciousness of God. This is the path that Jesus laid out, and it is the path that he invites us all to follow. By recognizing that Jesus brought the divine love of the Father into the material world, we understand that we too are called to manifest this love in our lives. Jesus didn't just speak about the divine, he lived it, and in doing so, he opened the way for us to do the same. This is the profound legacy of Jesus, the one who showed us the way to resonate with the divine in every aspect of our lives. And it is with this understanding that we truly grasp the depth of Jesus' words when he said, "I am the way, the truth, and the life." He is the path that leads us to the divine, the truth that reveals the nature of God, and the life that flows from aligning ourselves with the divine consciousness. This is not only an invitation for individuals and all of humankind, but also a call to transcend our current state, to elevate ourselves into a higher state of consciousness, a new life that may even extend beyond the physical world. Jesus offers us a vision of what humanity can become. Beings attuned to the divine, capable of manifesting divine love and wisdom, not just in this life, but perhaps in a new, transformed existence. To follow Jesus is to embrace this journey, to walk the way that leads to the Father, to embrace the truth of divine love, and to live the life that reflects the glory of the divine in this world and beyond.